My uncle, who I was named after, knew the war was coming. He'd already skipped 2 grades in school. He was quite brilliant. 15, he graduated. And by 17, during the Depression, an air circus comes to town, and he begs my grandfather, please, 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 please. And my grandfather couldn't refuse him $2 to go up in a plane. Well, from that moment on, Hayden was plane, fly, this, that. And this is why he's already being scouted by R.J. Reynolds to go into their company. This is how brilliant he was. And the war comes out, and he knows at 17 he's going to be drafted by the time he's 18. It's inevitable. So he got his parents to sign. And he learned to fly in a biplane, graduating top of his class, and landed up in a P-47 Razorback with the 56th Squadron in Europe. They did everything. I mean, against Rommel, Northern Africa, and up Sicily, and the liberation of Paris, and this and that. It's like Yassarian with trying to get out after so many missions. I think it was 44 missions. It was 3 months after his 21st birthday. And there was a fracas, and he doubles back. They were bombing the bridges of Tuscany. And 8 folk come out of the sky, and there was this huge conflagration. And one plane goes down and hits the deck, crash, and the parachute here, and the German plane there, and all of a sudden they see this plane circling. And it was my uncle's plane, and he successfully landed in a field. So he was reported missing in action, and the family had hope. But what they didn't know was on the ground, a farmer killed my uncle with a pitchfork. So when we talk about war, though I must say the Second World War seems to be one that had to have been fought, there's no question about that. But the First World War didn't have to happen. And then there was Versailles, which was really the ceasefire to manipulate the operational theater for the next 100 years of war, including snubbing Ho Chi Minh, and the formation of Yugoslavia, and the formation of Iraq, and the formation of Iran. You get the idea. And the Second World War ends with an atomic bomb, and the military-industrial complex went, we just created finality. Where are our profits going to be? So from that point on, they created operational theater with no conclusion, regardless of the lives that would be lost. And to show you the insanity of the dark state, the war is over. You can just imagine looking off the shores of Japan at the thousands of munition ships. The war's over. What are we going to do with all the munitions? Well, half went to Korea. This is 1945. Half went to Korea, and half went to Indochina. Ho Chi Minh thought we were his ally. Wouldn't you with all those munitions? He espoused Jefferson in his speeches about a decolonialized Vietnam, which was only North Vietnam at that time, because what became South Vietnam was Chin China, was a backwater, really aboriginal. If you think about it, they were more concerned with their bowl of rice, their tribal elder, and the urn that collected rainwater, because the water was so brackish you couldn't drink it. And the CIA formed in 1947, which Truman said was the worst thing he ever did. Releases 1.1 million Tonkin Catholics from the north to infiltrate the south, and creating a destable situation using our ships, using our airplanes, as well as marches across the border. Now Geneva saying, there's a crisis. And the Viet Minh, who were the local indigenous, all of a sudden were the enemy. And we bring Diem in from Paris, and Diem gets rid of the French, who were the adjudicators. He got rid of the Chinese, who were the mercantile merchants. Now all the barter, because they were so primitive, all the barter to get crops out and distributed were rotting. So people are getting hungry, and Diem comes in with certain militia groups and starts terrorizing village and breaking up and shooting up their water supplies, and it's getting crazy, and it's a perfect theater for our children to be sent to war. And that's how Vietnam started. So, we have a lot to do to stop this. I said this before. The first person who rises before us who proves to be apolitical and only has solutions, embrace with all your heart and soul and make sure it becomes the next person in politics. Okay, let's clear the air. Why'd the punk rocker cross the road?
Wow.
He was stapled to the chicken.